Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe. Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram. Jai 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय. मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय. नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय. जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र की जय. गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय. वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय. श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय. श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय. श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय. श्री श्री सुदर्शन भगवान की जय. हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय. समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 7th Canto, 10th Chapter, text number 49. Sa va ayam brahma mahad vimrigya. Sa va ayam brahma mahad vimrigya. Kaivalya Nirvana Sukhanubhutihi. Kaivalya Nirvana Sukhanubhutihi. Priyaha Sured Vaha Khalu Matuleya. Priya Suridva Khalu Matuleya. Atmarhaniyo Vidhikrit Guruscha. Atmarhaniyo Vidhikrit Guruscha. Sava ayam Brahma Mahad Vimrigya. Kaivalya Nirvana Sukhanubhutihi. Priya Suridva Khalu Matuleya. Atmarhaniyo Vidhikrit Guruscha. Savayam Brahma Mahad Vimrigya. Kaivalya Nirvana Sukhanubhutihi. Priya Suridva Khalu Matuleya. Atmarhaniyo Vidhikrit Guruscha. Ayam Brahma Mahad Vimrigya. Kaivalya Nirvana Sukhanubhutihi. Priya Suridva Khalu Matuleya. Atmarhaniyo Vidhikrit Guruscha. Sava ayam Brahma Mahad Vimrigya. Kaivalya Nirvana Sukhanubhutihi. Priya Suridva Khalu Matuleya. Atmarhaniyo Vidhikrit Guruscha. Saha, that Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Va, also, I am this Brahma, the impersonal Brahma, which is an emanation from Krishna. Mahat, by great personalities. Vimrigya, searched for. Kaivalya, oneness. Nirvana Sukha, of transcendental happiness. Anubhutihi, the source of practical experience. Priyaha, very, very dear. Suhrit, well-wisher. Vaha, of you. Khalu, indeed. Matuleyaha, the son of a maternal uncle. Atma, exactly like body and soul together. Arhaniyaha, worshipable, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedikrit, yet he serves you as an order carrier. Guruhu, your supreme advisor. Cha, as well. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. The impersonal Brahma is Krishna himself, because Krishna is the source of the impersonal Brahma. He is the source of the transcendental bliss sought by the great saintly persons. Yet he, the Supreme Person, is your most dear friend and constant well-wisher, and is intimately related to you as the son of your maternal uncle. Indeed, he is always like your body and soul. He is worshipable, yet he acts as your servant and sometimes as your spiritual master. Please repeat. The impersonal Brahma is Krishna himself, because Krishna is the source of the impersonal Brahma. He is the origin of the transcendental bliss sought by the great saintly persons. Yet he, the Supreme Person, is your most dear friend and constant well wisher and is intimately related to you as the son of your maternal uncle. Indeed, he is always like your body and soul. He is worshipable, yet he acts as your servant and sometimes as your spiritual master. Purport. There is always a difference of opinion about the absolute truth. One class of transcendentalists concludes that the absolute truth is impersonal, and another class concludes that the absolute truth is a person. In Bhagavad Gita, the absolute truth is accepted as the supreme person. Indeed, that supreme person himself, Lord Krishna, instructs in Bhagavad Gita, Brahmano hi pratisthaham, mattah parataram nanyat. The impersonal Brahma is my partial manifestation, and there is no truth superior to me. That same Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, acted as the supreme friend and relative of the Pandavas, and sometimes he even acted as their servant by carrying a letter from the Pandavas to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. Because Krishna was the well wisher of the Pandavas, he also acted as Guru by becoming the spiritual master of Arjuna. Arjuna accepted Krishna as his spiritual master. Shishyashteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. And Krishna sometimes chastised him. For example, the Lord said, Ashocyan anvashochastvam pragyavadanscha bhashase. While speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. The Lord also said, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam. My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? Such was the intimate relationship between the Pandavas and Krishna. In the same way, a pure devotee of the Lord is always with Krishna through thick and thin. His way of life is Krishna. This is the statement of the authority Sri Narad Muni. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। There has always been a confusion for a very long time, as Srila Prabhupada is explaining here. Two classes of transcendentalists are there who have realized the illusory nature of this world. And in order to finish all the problems for good, they are determined to understand what is truth. This is illusion, what we are having here now. So among them, there are differences. One class of transcendentalists, he is telling absolute truth is impersonal, energy. Another class, person. Both are transcendentalists. Both are very, very advanced in spiritual life, very advanced. Although, of course, later Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita, it is not very clear. So, although it is explained in Bhagavad Gita later, as Prabhupada has told, Krishna has very clearly explained, Mattaha partaram na anyat. There is no truth beyond me. So, when there is any confusion, we should take it from the Lord Krishna himself. What is your understanding? Sometimes there is confusion between various authorities. As we are discussing various demigods, the Shastras will tell, yes, this is the ultimate. Many places we'll find this is the ultimate, this is the ultimate, but what is ultimate? Only one who has comprehensive understanding of the Vedas can understand, or these authorities will tell. Krishna is telling Mattah Partaram na anyat, but no other demigod will tell Mattah Partaram na anyat. Goddess Durga Shakti will never tell Mattah Partaram na anyat. Lord Ganesha will not tell Mattah Partaram na anyat. Lord Shiva will not tell Mattah Partaram na anyat. Sun God will not tell Mattah Partaram na anyat. So no other deity will tell Mattah Partaram na anyat. There is nothing, no truth beyond me. But Krishna has declared very openly, Mattah Partaram na anyat. So if somebody contends for the supreme position, we can request whether that person has shown, has spoken, not shown, has spoken that there is no truth beyond me. So the answer would be no. No other personality has declared there is no truth beyond me. Rather, every personality has told worship of Krishna is supreme, that is the topmost. But Krishna will not tell that that worship is supreme, you worship somebody else. So in this way, Lord Krishna himself is telling, there is no truth beyond me. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. The Brahma Jyoti, I am the source of Brahma Jyoti that is situated on me. Similarly, in Brahma Samhita also it is mentioned, Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti. Yasya Prabha, Prabha means light. Prabhavato means illuminates. Jagadanda means universe. Koti means crores. There are crores and crores of universes, it is told. And how all these universes are illuminated? The ultimate source of all illumination is the light coming from the body of Krishna, which is called Brahma. So then why there are instances where it is told this is the ultimate, Brahma is the ultimate, or XY is the ultimate? So ultimate in one sense, for example, as we discussed briefly in last class also, Ramanand Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are discussing how one can attain the perfection of life. So Ramanand Rai tells, what does he tell? It is very clearly told in Bhagavatam how one can attain perfection of life. What is perfection? In Sanskrit, we discussed. Perfection is called. So many times we have discussed. Ata pumbe द्विज श्रेष्ठ वर्णाश्रम विभागशः स्वनुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य samsiddhir haritoshanam. Samsiddhi. Siddhi is perfection. Samsiddhi is topmost perfection. So what is the topmost perfection that a person can attain? By doing one's own duties very nicely, and that is haritoshanam. This is topmost perfection. So how one can attain perfection? So that is why Ramanand Rai quotes another verse from Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam only it is mentioned. What is the verse? वर्णाश्रमचारवता पुरुषेण परः पुमान् विष्णुर आराध्यते पंथा नान्य तत्तोष कारणम. So haritoshanam is perfection. How this perfection can be attained? Na anya tattosha karanam. Lord Vishnu cannot be pleased by anything but following the duties of varnashrama dharma very, very strictly. Lord Vishnu can be pleased only by following varnashrama duties. That is haritoshanam. He can na anya tattosha karanam. There is no other way. He cannot be pleased by anything else but following the duties of varnashrama. But Mahaprabhu rejected. What is it? This is rejected. Then he speaks further. So what is the further knowledge? No, offering the results of activities to Krishna, that is perfection. Yat karoshi, yat juhoshi, he's quoting from Bhagavad Gita. Kurushva tad madarpanam, offer it to me, this is perfection. Mahaprabhu does know beyond this. Then it is Gyan Mishra Bhakti. One who knows Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, who knows, who has realized the opulence of Krishna and engages in his bhakti. This is perfection. Why it is told it is perfection? That is also from the Bhagavad Gita. When a person has realized that I am not this body, I am spirit soul, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na shochati na kangshati, sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param, then he attains my bhakti. So a person who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, he attains to bhakti. So this is topmost perfection. So then it is to know beyond this, you tell something. So like this, we see in the Vedas itself, it is told it is perfect, it is perfect. There is no perfection beyond this. Then it is told there is no perfection beyond being servant of Krishna, beyond ecstatic love, then beyond servant of Krishna. Then it is told there is no better position than being friends of Krishna. All of these positions are told as topmost. This is perfection. This is perfection. Why? For different grades of living entities. Just like we are told about our perfection. Just 10th class, there is nothing. Just then in 12th standard, yes, just 12th standard. This is perfection. If you can score nicely in 12th, your life is set. Then just clear this exam. Once you do this, then your life is set. Then now you get this internship, then you get this job, then your life is set. Then you do this marriage, just marry this girl or this boy, then your life is set. Then somehow you get divorced, then your life will be set. No problem, 70% will give up. Your life will be set. Give up. Your life will be perfect. Then get your children married. Then get your grandchildren married. Then die peacefully at least. So in this way, different perfections are there depending on the level. If a student of 10th standard is told that perfection is to finish 12th syllabus, he will not be able to clear his own level itself. Child who is in kindergarten, you tell him you study algebra, he will not understand ABC also. So that is why for him perfection is A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, that is perfection. Whole stress is that you study this syllabus very nicely and he gets perfect also, top 100%. He is also scoring 100%. 5th standard also scoring 100%. 8th standard, 10th standard also 100%. All of them are scoring 100% perfect, but they are perfect in their own level as per their own capacity. So that is why various living entities are there. In Tamoguna, for them, Tamasic worship, certain demigods are to be worshipped. For Rajasic, certain demigods are to be worshipped. A Tamasic person cannot follow Sattvic rules and regulations. Person who wakes up in the afternoon, sleeps at night, how will he do Sattvic worship? Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is there, so everyone can take. Otherwise, impossible. So for them, Tamasic worship is there. Meat eater, he cannot leave. So Tamasic worship is there. In this way, he will gradually advance to Rajoguna, from there gradually to Sattvaguna. Not everyone can follow the rules and regulations of Sattvaguna immediately. So thus you follow this. This is perfection for you. So that is why it is very important to have comprehensive understanding of the Vedas. But impersonalists, much, much more advanced, very advanced. Krichrena, by great work, great hard work, tapasya, they are able to attain this position. Prabhupada's people are very fond of following Shankaracharya. Sripad Shankaracharya preached impersonal philosophy. And people want to follow him. Prabhupada tells you cannot even touch shadow of Shankaracharya. What to speak of following him? Why? Because Shankaracharya told, first of all, you take sannyas. You leave everything, then we will talk for spiritual realization. He took sannyas at 8 years. So you first take sannyas, then we'll talk of anything else. Very rigidly they follow the vows of austerities. Very, very austere. First of all, leave house, and then after leaving house, sleep on the floor. No pillow, no mattress, nothing. And live in the forest. Holy places. You cannot live with common people. You have to take bath minimum 3 times in a day. And many, many very rigid austerities. So who can do this? So, and without doing this, there is no question of any impersonal realization. Unless a person is very, very austere, it is not possible. It is also very exalted position, although we sometimes criticize impersonalists because they are not able to understand Krishna's position. People get misled, but nevertheless, that impersonal realization also is not a joke, Prabhupada explains. It takes a lot of austerities to attain to that position, and today people doing all kinds of sinful activities, sense gratification, it is not possible to realize anything of impersonalism. But anyway, so these people are so advanced, still they are not able to understand why. So very nice instances there from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this instance is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visits Vrindavan, and he went with 2 of his servants. And this time Vrindavan, there was a unique thing happening. What unique thing? Something which had happened 5,000 years ago was happening now. People were seeing Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. So we'll just see what happens and how it happened. वृंदावने पुनः कृष्ण प्रकट हईला यहाँ तहाँ लोक सब कहिते लागिला. Everywhere the Lord went, all the people said, Krishna has again manifested at Vrindavan. वृंदावने एक दिन क्रूरे ते लोक प्रातः काले वृंदावन हईते ऐसे करी कोलाहले. One morning, many people came to Akrur Tirtha. Why they came to Akrur Tirtha? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying there in Akrur Tirtha. As they came from Vrindavan, they made a tumultuous sound. Prabhu dekhi karila loka charana vandana. Prabhu kahe kaha haite karila agamana. Upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the people offered respects at his lotus feet. The Lord then asked them, where are you all coming from? लोक कहे कृष्ण प्रकट कालिया दहेर जले कालिया शिर नृत्य करे फणा रत्न ज्वले. The people replied, Krishna has again manifested himself on the waters of Kaliya lake. He dances on the hoods of the serpent Kaliya, and the jewels on those hoods are blazing. So what people are telling, Krishna has again manifested himself in the Kaliya lake. We see the tree from which Krishna jumped. So that is actually called Kaliya Daha. Daha means lake. Lake was created out of Yamuna in that spot where this pastime had happened. And people are telling again Krishna has manifested himself. साक्षात देखिला लोक नाही का संशया शुनि हसी कहे प्रभु सब सत्य हया. Everyone has seen Lord Krishna himself. There is no doubt about it. So everyone has seen Krishna, they are telling. If one person goes and sees, he might be under illusion. But anybody who is going there, rather everyone who is going there, they are seeing Krishna. So there can be no doubt Krishna must be there. So why one should be doubtful? Yes, Krishna, as we know, Krishna is always present in Vrindavan. Yes. Now also many people tell in Vrindavan, Krishna comes in this place at night and he does Leela, correct? If you look, you will become blind. And when people want to go to Vrindavan, they are very eager to see that spot. Okay, night we'll become blind. At least now I can see this spot where Krishna comes. So they are very eager. So why we are telling that? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is laughing? He's smiling. People are seeing today also. So why not 500 years ago Krishna can manifest himself? Krishna is always present in Vrindavan. But anyway, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Shuni hasi kahe Prabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to laugh. Why Mahaprabhu began to laugh? But then he said, everything is correct. You are telling right, you are telling truth. Ei mata tina ratri loke ragamana. Sabe asi kahe Krishna pailu darshana. For 3 successive nights, people went to Kaliya Daha to see Krishna. And everyone returned saying, now we have seen Krishna himself. Prabhu aage kahe ko na Shri Krishna dekhila. Saraswati ei vakya satya kahaila. Everyone came before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, now we have directly seen Lord Krishna. Thus, by the mercy of the goddess of learning, they were made to speak the truth. They were actually seeing Krishna. So when they saw that now we have actually seen Krishna, they were speaking truth. So goddess of learning Saraswati, by her mercy, they spoke truth, even though they were ignorant, because they were seeing actually Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu would laugh, understanding their intentions. Mahaprabhu deki satya Krishna darshana, nij jnane satya chadi asatya satya brahma. When the people saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they actually saw Krishna. But because they were following their own imperfect knowledge, they accepted the wrong thing as Krishna. Now, very interesting thing happens. Bhattacharya tabe kahe Prabhu racharane, agya deha yai kare Krishna darshane. At that time, Balabhadra Bhattacharya placed a request at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is Balabhadra Bhattacharya? Who is he? He was assistant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu carried 2 assistants and one chief and one junior assistant. So chief assistant was Balbhadra Bhattacharya, who would cook for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and serve him in so many ways while he was traveling during the forest reaching Vrindavan. So Balbhadra Bhattacharya, he placed request at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What was the request? He said, please give me permission to go see Lord Krishna directly. Abe tare kahe Prabhu chapad Maria, Murkhera vakya murkha haila pandit haya. When Balbhadra Bhattacharya asked to see Krishna at Kaliya Daha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercifully slapped him, saying, you are a learned scholar, but you have become a fool, being influenced by the statements of other fools. So Prabhupada explains, Maya is so strong that even a person like Balbhadra Bhattacharya, who was constantly staying with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was influenced by the words of fools. He wanted to see Krishna directly by going to Kaliya Daha. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being the original spiritual master, would not allow his servant to fall into such foolishness. He therefore chastised him, slapping him just to bring him to real sense of Krishna consciousness. So Mahaprabhu gave him a slap. You are becoming fool? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, Krishna kene darshana dibe kalikale, nij bhrame murkha loka kare kolahale. Why would Krishna appear in the age of Kali? Foolish people who are mistaken are simply causing agitation and making a tumult. So Prabhupada explains why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling with confidence that why Krishna would appear in the age of Kali on the basis of Shastra scriptures. When God is going to appear, when God is going to disappear, what would be his pastimes, where he is going to appear, who are father, mother. All these things are elaborately mentioned in the scriptures. So Krishna appears not in Kali Yuga but in Dwapar Yuga. As soon as Krishna left the age of Kali, its influence, it set place on this planet. So Krishna appears in Kali Yuga as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not in his own form as Shyam Sundar. It is impossible. So thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told on the basis of Shastras, Mahaprabhu told, do not become a fool. It is not possible. So just see so much sentimentalism. People are seeing Krishna and they think that this is fact, that in a bush at night you can actually see Krishna. But on the basis of Shastras, through the spiritual master, we have to understand. So this is a very, very important pastime. Prabhupada explains very nicely in the purport. The puzzled people who visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were actually seeing Lord Krishna, but they were mistaken in thinking that Lord Krishna had come to Kalia Lake. They all said that they had seen Krishna directly performing his pastimes on the hoods of the serpent Kalia, and that the jewels on Kalia's hoods were blazing brilliantly. Because they were speculating with their imperfect knowledge, they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an ordinary human being and a boatsman light in the lake as Krishna. So what happens then? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu slaps Balbhadra Bhattacharya. He tells, don't become a fool by listening to fools. Don't worry. Tomorrow you can go and see Krishna. So then what happened tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, one gentleman came to meet Mahaprabhu. So he told, have you seen Krishna? You also have seen? So he told, actually it was not a Krishna, it was a fisherman fishing in the middle of night in the river. So the boat was taken as Kalia and the fisherman was taken as Krishna. And at night, obviously, you need to hold torch so that you can see clearly. So the torch was taken as jewels shining on the hoods of Kalia serpent. So in this way, the fisherman was taken as fisherman standing on boat was taken as Krishna standing on the hoods of Kalia. And they saw the jewels also on the hoods. So in this manner, people, because they wanted to speculate using their limited sense perception, they mistook an ordinary fisherman to be Krishna and Krishna to be an ordinary person, ordinary sannyasi. So that is why it is told here. Because they were speculating with their imperfect knowledge, they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an ordinary human being and a boatsman light in the lake as Krishna. One must see things as they are through the mercy of a spiritual master. Otherwise, if one tries to see Krishna directly, he may mistake an ordinary man for Krishna or Krishna for an ordinary man. Everyone has to see Krishna according to the verdict of Vedic literatures presented by the self-realized spiritual master. A sincere person is able to see Krishna through the transparent via medium of Sri Gurudev, the spiritual master. Unless one is enlightened by the knowledge given by the spiritual master, so it is very important. Unless one is enlightened by the knowledge given by the spiritual master, he cannot see things as they are, even though he remains constantly with the spiritual master. So one may remain constantly with the spiritual master, but unless one is enlightened with the knowledge given by the spiritual master, he or she will not be able to see things as they are. This incident at Kalia Daha is very instructive for those eager to advance in Krishna consciousness. Thus, it is very important. Those who are eager to see Krishna, to advance in Krishna consciousness, they must know how one can see Krishna. So, if we use our limited sense perception, then with our limited sense perception, we cannot even understand matter properly. With limited sense perception, people were mistaking Earth as flat for a very, very long time. And the same person who told that Earth is actually round, he was given punishment. You are committing blasphemy, sacrilege. They thought that sun is taking birth every morning and dying every evening. This was the understanding. So this was the understanding with limited sense perception. Our senses are so limited, we cannot understand anything, as we have discussed umpteen number of times. We cannot even tell the real taste of food when we are sick. We cannot even tell real color if we are color blind. So similarly, we are all blind to absolute truth. We can only perceive relative truths. The way our eyes have been designed, we perceive the colors here, we perceive the shape, form, size here. We are able to comprehend the things. Our comprehension is limited, our vision is limited. Everything is limited by the machine that we have acquired. So thus we are completely blind to absolute truths. Completely blind. So that is why it is told a very, very important point. So there is another very important instructive shloka in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is from first canto, I think 19th chapter. Yatra anurakta sahasaiva dhira vyapohya dehadishu sangamudham vrajanti tat paramahansyam yasmin ahimsopashamaswadharmaha. In order to realize absolute truth, a very important qualification is mentioned here, which is mentioned, of course, in many other places also. What is this very important qualification? This qualification is Dhira, yatra anurakta sahasaiva dhira. That is why in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, in the glorification of Bhagavad Gita, it is told, who can understand this Bhagavad Gita, this knowledge? Sudhir bhokta dugdham gitamritam mahat. This milk, nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita is drunk only by Sudhir, who are very, very sober men. Those who are not Dhira, they will not be able to understand Bhagavad Gita. Dhiras tatrana muhyati. Those who are Dhira, they are not at all concerned with death. They can clearly see it is simply change of body. They don't become happy on birth. They don't become distressed on death. But Dhira, a sober person, can realize. Yatra anurakta sahasaiva dhira. So those who are sober, what do? Self-control persons who are attached to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna can all of a sudden give up the world of material attachment, including the gross body and subtle body, and can go away to attain highest perfection of the renounced order of life, by which non-violence and renunciation are consequential. So thus it is explained here, only the self-control can gradually be attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Anuraktaha. One who is not self-controlled, they cannot develop attachment for Krishna. What is the meaning of self-controlled? Self-control means not indulging in sense enjoyment more than is necessary. Not indulging in sense enjoyment more than necessary. Little sense enjoyment is required, otherwise we cannot survive in this world. We have to eat. Without eating, we cannot survive. That eating will give us enjoyment. That enjoyment is okay. But taking enjoyment more than what is requiring for survival in this world, then such a person is not self-controlled. Such a person is called addicted. Using laptop is very much required for our education, but a person can get addicted. If he uses more than required, such a person can never get knowledge, even though this device can give you unlimited knowledge, spiritual and material. But only the self-control can use it. Those who are not self-controlled, they will get lost. Now, very important point here, carefully Prabhupada explains. Dry philosophical speculation is a subtle sense enjoyment of the mind. So there is sense enjoyment. Manashashthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. There are sometimes senses are told to be 5, sometimes 10, sometimes 11 or 6. Why this odd 11 or 6? Because mind is included. Mind is also a sense. Manashashthani indriyani, Krishna tells. So just like the senses get satisfaction by their sense objects, mind also gets satisfaction by speculation, trying to understand what is truth. That is why these detective novels, Sherlock Holmes, why they sell like anything, Agatha Christie and all, why they are able to sell so much? Because, yes, I want to know. This knowing tendency is there in us. We are very eager to know. That is why they tell hooks are the keys if you want to make your video viral, because people are inquisitive. I want to know. So this is called mental gratification. So philosophical speculation, dry speculation, trying to understand what is truth, it is also sense enjoyment. And sense enjoyment leads one to the path of darkness. And sense enjoyment leads one to the path of darkness, gross or subtle. So just like if a person does too much of gross sense enjoyment, sleeps too much, eats too much, watches too much, gets carried away by hearing too much, he goes to tamoguna, darkness. Similarly, those who speculate too much, that is why sometimes people ask why scientists commit suicide. Many, the father of the computers, who is he? Charles Babbage, we hear. But no, there is another person who was also professor at MIT, I think. And but unfortunately, he could not survive to contribute more to computer language. I'm forgetting his name now. Yeah, not modern. Father of computing, you can call him, the fundamentals. And huh? Pardon? I'm forgetting the name. We have to see. So he was so smart, so intelligent. When he was high school student, he was writing letters to uh, the great mathematicians like Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell and who's the other person? They were the greatest mathematicians of our contemporary world. And so he wrote a letter to them and he was able to point out mistakes and he was able to show his excellent understanding of the concepts. Thus, they called him immediately. And thus, he was able to directly take admission for PhD, even though he was a high school student. Very intelligent. But then he wanted to understand how this human brain works so that it can be simulated into a computer and how the memories are stored. He was advancing very nicely. But then one day he saw a very strange behavior from his guide, and he was not able to understand why he's behaving like this. Because if you understand, every machine follows some laws. He was not able to know what is this law. Suddenly, why is behaving like this? So, because of his inability to understand human brain, he started drinking profusely. And drinking, it was a kind of, it is told, slow suicide. He killed himself in frustration of not understanding. We also have realized when we don't understand, we become frustrated, especially when we are preparing for our entrance examinations and all. It gives a lot of frustration when you are not able to understand. We spend hours together. Similarly, if we are not able to understand Krishna, there might be frustration in Krishna consciousness also. And this frustration actually happens in the lower modes of nature. In Sattva-guna, there is no frustration at all. So why this frustration is coming? Because a person is falling down to Tamoguna. So this dry philosophical speculation is also the result of ignorance. It is sense gratification. Too much of speculation brings a person, thus frustration, not able to understand. So that is why it is very clearly told here. Dry philosophical speculation is subtle sense enjoyment of the mind. Sense enjoyment leads one to the path of darkness. So that is why patience is very much required. So atyahar prayasascha. Prayas means over endeavor for material things. It spoils our bhakti. So over endeavor for material objects, gross objects, or subtle understanding, this is also called prayas. Now only I want to understand everything about Krishna consciousness. And if I am not able to understand, I leave it. Bhakti gets destroyed. That is why Prabhupada tells doubt should be clarified with the authorities. Otherwise, these doubts could be fatal. One can lose one's Krishna consciousness. And of course, if we follow rules and regulations, we'll be happy. Only when we break regulative principles, don't follow rules, regulations, or commit some offenses, these doubts set place in our mind. Otherwise, there is great clarity. By the mercy of Krishna, devotee remains convinced. But if we make mistakes, there are doubts, we don't seek clarification, then these doubts could be fatal. So that is called prayas. Prayas destroys bhakti. Unnecessary over endeavor. Yes, one should endeavor. Just like eating is required to maintain the body in a fit state to serve Krishna. So that is why one should use intelligence to understand Krishna. But that intelligence should be used to understand the words of Shastras and the spiritual master to the extent we are able to understand now. We might not be able to understand. We all can realize when we started our Krishna consciousness, how simple things we were not able to make sense out of it. Simple shlokas we were not able to understand. And now everything is so much clear. When I started reading Bhagavad Gita, I was taking out impersonal understanding. from entire Bhagavad Gita, and I thought Prabhupada is unnecessary making it personal, giving personal meaning. But now I understand how it is so personal, so direct, clear understanding is there. But because I had followed impersonalism for a very, very long time, the brain got conditioned to think in impersonal manner. So that is why it is very important not to fall for this speculation also. One has to wait. One should try. If one is not able to understand, one should understand. Yes, in my material education also, I waited for a very long time to understand even material subjects. So in spiritual subjects, one has to wait. One must wait. So that is why one must stop speculation immediately. When Prabhupada was initiating disciples, he told 4 regulative principles and no mental speculation also Prabhupada would tell. So this mental speculation can disturb us like anything. One person becomes frustrated. So one should be careful. One should stop mental speculation immediately. That is why it is told, don't associate with atheists. They will shake our faith when we are new in Krishna consciousness. And if faith is gone, then then it is over. So that is why one should protect one's faith. That is why it is told, don't see the face of the atheist also. Why it is told, don't see even the face? What is in the face? No. Something he tells, one word, and the faith is lost. Faith is lost, then it is very dangerous. Because we all work according to our faith. We got little faith in Krishna consciousness. In the initial stages, our faith is very, very tender. It can get disturbed by a strong atheist. So that is why one should protect oneself. And of course, we have to understand why one should follow any atheist. Atheist is dependent on his own mind and senses. Mind and senses cannot give you absolute knowledge. It is common sense. They only give relative knowledge. Foolish atheist does not understand this much. He has so much faith on his mind and senses. You can never understand what is truth using mind and senses. So that is why one should find who is a person who is not giving me knowledge of his mind and senses. And that is spiritual master. Spiritual master gives him the knowledge of his spiritual master, not one's sensual perception or mental perception. He gives of his spiritual master. Ultimately, knowledge comes down from Lord Krishna. Oh, what is the proof but that this is coming from Lord Krishna? This is absolute truth. This parampara is truth. We also have parampara. Einstein told his junior, he told his junior. We are also studying the same theories. We have our parampara. So that is why it is told very nicely. Atma Ramascha Munyo Nirgrantha api urukrame kurvanti ahitukim bhaktim mittam bhut guno harihi. The proof is those who are the topmost atheists, they also become devotees. But topmost devotee has never become an atheist. So that means becoming devotee is a higher position. So many people, we have so many slums here. From slums, they have moved to apartments or big houses in South Bombay also. Somebody became famous influencer, was living here. Now he's living in a very big apartment. But has somebody from South Bombay moved to slums? Anybody? One person? Why? Because that is a better living standard. Yes. So no perfect devotee has become impersonalist or a materialist or an atheist. But so many perfect materialists have become, what is perfect materialist? He has attained whatever is possible to attain. So the perfect materialists are frustrated, are distressed, they are not happy at all. So many testimonials you can see, interviews you can see. Michael Phelps, they are talking with him. The lady is asking, so why you were not satisfied? You had all the medals. So he told, yes, I had how many? 18 or 24 medals. So he thought, but I was contemplating suicide. So she asked, you contemplated suicide? Was it after winning the gold medal? He told, yes, after 24 medals. Why? After winning so many medals, you are contemplating? So then he told very nice thing. I may have gold medals, but I wear my pants the same way as everybody else is wearing. I am the same person. I have the same issues. So he's the most successful materialist a person can ever think of. Similarly, you go to any case, perfect CEOs, perfect XYZ. not satisfied, dissatisfied. So that is why some of them, these perfect people, they take to devotional service, they take to spiritual life, they seek spiritual life. As King Ashoka and various Yayati, various great kings, great materialists became devotees. But any pure devotee has never become materialist, has never become impersonalist. But the perfect impersonalists, Shukdev Goswami, the four Kumaras, Bilva Mangal Thakur, 1,000 years ago he lived for, or 1,500 years ago, he lived for 700 years in Vrindavan without eyes. He plucked his eyes out. So a blind person, he might not have survived for a long time, miserable situation, but he was in bliss. Krishna was bringing him milk regularly. And he lived for 700 years. He composed Krishna Karnamrita, wonderful scripture which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would read and enjoy. So he was impersonalist, but he became devotee. So the perfect impersonalist, Atmaram, they have become devotees. But perfect devotee has never taken to. So thus we can understand devotee, being devotee's topmost position. That is why Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Manyate na adhikam tataha yam labdhva cha param labham. One who attains to this position of spiritual bliss, he never thinks anything can be better than this. In material world, whatever position we attain, we always think there is something better, little more, little more. Some devotee was telling, I see every woman is wearing high heels. And thus they are making their life uncomfortable. Every woman is wearing high heel. She could be 4 feet tall, 4.5. She is also dissatisfied. 5 feet dissatisfied. 5.5 dissatisfied. 2 inches more they want. Everyone wants 2 inches. And for this entire life, they will struggle. Everyone wants to be 2 inches taller, just 2 inches. It cannot make you 6 inches taller. It will make you just 2 inches taller. And we see, no offense to women, I mean, but men may want something else. What do men want? Everything else, money, strength, or whatever you want. So in this way, just giving an example, we can have example for everyone. But we see everyone is dissatisfied. Everyone is just looking for just 2 inches. Everyone just want. Nobody is satisfied with their height, with their level. And this entire life they will spend in discomfort. Little more money, little more fame. But one who is situated in devotional service, manyate na adhikam tata. Oh, I am fully satisfied. What can be better than this? Nothing can be better. And this feeling always keeps on expanding. Devotee is always completely satisfied. And this satisfaction keeps on increasing every day. So thus, this is the proof. When a person is situated in a devotional service, he hankers for nothing beyond devotional service. But materialist hankers always more. So thus it is very clear. But we have to understand, unless we are under the shelter, unless we are enlightened by the knowledge given by the spiritual master, one can remain in constant company of spiritual master, like Balbhadir Bhattacharya was. Unless one is enlightened, one will not understand. So that is why one should not be simply satisfied that I have got the association of devotees. Yes, association is very good, but association is meant for purpose to understand Krishna consciousness. Yes, I am hanging around with the scientists. What you are doing in their association, I am playing football with the scientists. You will never understand science by playing football with them. But yes, if you hang around, someday you might be inquisitive to discuss science and you may also become a scientist. So it is good. So simply if we live with the devotees or even we live with the spiritual master, but we are not eager to understand, we do not surrender, we will not get enlightenment. So thus we should take advantage of association. That is why Prabhupada told, we should always be discussing Krishna Katha, trying to understand, take inspiration from each other, how they are following the rules and regulations advancing. I also should follow. So in this way, one should be eager to follow rules and regulations, eager to have spiritual realization. And then one should be eager to understand science. Then association of scientists would be helpful. That is why when Prabhupada was told, when Prabhupada was showing the disciples Vrindavan, Prabhupada, can we go to that place? It is told Krishna comes here every night and does his Leela. Ras Leela, Krishna did Ras Leela here, now also is coming every night. So Prabhupada told, I am not so advanced to visit that place. And then Prabhupada took them to Seva Kunj, Radha Damodar Mandir, where it is now. Even then it was a Radha Damodar temple, but the courtyard was open. And Prabhupada would show them the place. Here Goswamis would sit. They would plan how to spread Krishna consciousness, plan preaching, discuss the science of Krishna. So thus Prabhupada told we have to take shelter of the Goswamis. Goswamis have revealed this Vrindavan. Vrindavan was lost. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He came to Arishtagram, took birth in a paddy field, which was filled with water. And then he told, this is Radha Kund, the place in the universe which is most exalted. Even most exalted personalities like Kumaras also don't have access. And then rest of the places, he gave directions to Goswamis. And then Goswamis, by their mercy, we see the Vrindavan as it is manifest now today. They gave us how Radha Krishna worship is topmost worship. Otherwise, people were not knowing Radha Krishna worship. Only Krishna was being worshipped. So unless we take shelter of Goswamis, no revelation can happen. So thus, if we actually want to see Krishna, one should be very, very eager to follow the rules and regulations given by the Goswamis. When we follow rules and regulations, they'll be merciful, they will enlighten us. Unless they enlighten, there is no question. So that is why we should be very, very eager to follow rules and regulations. When we follow the rules and regulations, then spiritual master is pleased, then spiritual master enlightens. Without any exception, we should try to surrender, follow 100% all the rules and regulations. In this way, it will be, then there is no doubt. Even a novice can understand how the absolute truth is a person. And how do we understand? Prabhupada explains very nicely. Why then, one may ask, in this verse also it is mentioned, Sava ayam Brahma Mahadvimigya Kaivalya Nirvana Sukhanubhuti. The impersonal Brahma is Krishna himself. So why in this verse, Krishna is described as impersonal Brahma? For those who do not have understanding of Krishna, for them it is told, impersonal Brahma is Krishna himself. It does not mean Krishna is energy. No, that energy, impersonal Brahma, is Krishna. What absolute truth you perceive as simply energy, Prabhupada explains. Suppose somebody sees at night a train coming from a distance. So what he will see? Light. Only light. And he thinks train is light. Correct? Because at night, from a distance, only light is visible of the engine. So if somebody is telling you train is coming, so for him train means light. That's it. Nothing beyond. But then when a person advances further, he can see, oh, train has got many, many bogies. And when he further advances, he will understand, oh, train means many, many people also would be sitting inside. This is called personal realization. So initially one understands light, then one understands train has got a form, and then there are so many people. Train means driver is there, and then so many people are there. They eat, they sleep, they laugh, they talk. So many activities are there happening in the train. So this is called the perfect realization, personal realization. Everybody seeing train. From a distance, he is also seeing train. The person who is seeing the bogies and the body of the engine, he is also seeing train. And seeing the passengers, he is also seeing train only. But the perfect realization of realizing train with all the bogies and the passengers together. But seeing the light also is seeing train. Yes, that is also train, but that is imperfect realization of train. Similarly, Brahma realization is not false. Understanding everything is Brahma. These forms are illusion. This is not false. This is true. But this is imperfect understanding of absolute truth. Sunlight is not false, but that is not perfect understanding of sun. They tell that in sun, fusion is happening. What fusion? Nuclear fusion is happening. And it is told among fission and fusion, what is difficult to control? Fusion is difficult. That is why we have in nuclear reactors, we can have fission. But fusion, it is told, very difficult to control. Now they are trying to have, because fusion gives more energy, and it is very difficult to control fusion. And it is told in sun, what is happening? Fusion, this most uncontrollable nuclear reaction, because of energy is coming. But one amazing thing is happening, that in sun, fusion is happening in a very controlled way. And for millions of years. If little bit fusion goes beyond control in sun, Earth will get vanished in no time. Sun reduces its heat, we'll all freeze. But in perfect controlled way, the fusion is happening in sun. How it is happening in a controlled manner for millions of years? I was coming back to Jaipur from Pilani. The bus was filled with students from BITS Pilani. I told, very nice students, best students of the country, one of the best. So I asked them, okay, please, I do not understand science much. Please help me understand this basic thing. How fusion reaction is happening in controlled way in sun. But no answer. Where is time to think about? There could be some answer, but people do not think about it. They are too busy to cram and write and score. But nobody thinks. One should think. One should try to find the answers. So then the answer is, if you go to sun planet, you'll find Vivasman. He's controlling the effulgence of the sun. So that is called personal realization. So that is why if we depend upon our own senses to understand absolute truth, we might at best understand impersonal region, impersonal aspect of the absolute truths. When you read 11th chapter, Krishna tells, I am this, I am that, I am mountain, I am river, I am everything. So person naturally will think Krishna means this, everything put together is called Krishna. Krishna is not a person. So if our own intelligence we use, our intelligence is limited. Because we have never seen a person who can tell, I am mountain, I am river. But no, Krishna can tell that. Because there is nothing but Krishna. Krishna expands himself as all these things, all these features. So that is why one should follow the rules and regulations very nicely. By following the rules and regulations, spiritual master will enlighten. Only a spiritual master enlightens, one can understand truth. Otherwise, association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also will not help us to have truth, unless Mahaprabhu agrees to enlighten us. And we should be very, very cautious of mental speculation. Mental speculation should be stopped. What is the use? So, doubt is Prabhupada's favorite weapon of Maya to destroy our spiritual life. Favorite Prabhupada's favorite weapon. There are so many weapons, and there is one favorite weapon. What is that favorite weapon of Maya? Doubts. She instills doubts in our heart and thus destroys our spiritual life. So, before we even begin to get doubtful, one should think, oh, which machine I'm using to process these doubts? This brain, which is so dull, which gives me logic of wearing heels entire life, which keeps me dissatisfied always, which gives me logic to just increase my salary every year, to increase my position. This is my logic, which tells me to increase sense gratification. It does not, I don't have common sense. Increasing sense gratification brings more misery in my life. I am depending on this mind, which cheats me every night, and dreams I am perceiving as reality. I am depending on this mind, which was telling me when I was child, play every day, there is no need to study. I was not able to understand. I am depending on this mind, which is so limited. So if my machine is faulty, what is the use? If your scale is faulty, weighing machine is faulty, should we use it to measure weight? Never. Faulty machine should never be used, thrown away. What is the use? So similarly, we should not use this machine to understand what is truth. So intelligence should be used to find authority. Blind person should find another man who can help him cross the road. He should never attempt to cross the road using his senses directly. Yes, his senses, by his touch, he can find another man. And then with that man's help, he can cross the road. But using his senses, if he wants to cross the road, then he will be killed in no time. So that is why our intelligence should be used to find authority. But if the blind man touches another blind man, he tells, yes, come, I will take you across the road. That is happening in society today. People are anyway blind, and the people who are leading, they are also blind. Blind means depending on relative sense perception. So thus, andha yathandai upaniyamana. Everyone is going into a dark well of sense enjoyment, of frustration. So we should simply try to become servant of spiritual master, servant of Goswamis, and thus we can understand those who have followed this path of taking shelter, not trying to see Krishna in behind a bush in Vrindavan, Prabhupada tells, but try to serve the lotus feet of the Goswamis. By their instruction, one will be able to see Krishna, and the proof is very clear. No atheist, no impersonalist is satisfied. All of them, some of them, they become eventually devotees because they find higher truth, higher pleasure, higher knowledge in devotional service. But never a perfect devotee has degraded to lower positions. This establishes logically the topmost position of devotional service. So if this thing is topmost, why should we not be eager to attain it? So with this we will end. Any questions? The devotees hearing from residency can carry on if they wish. I will take some questions for some time. Mm, mm. So the question is, sometimes we meet people and when we give them the logic that our machine is faulty, our senses cannot give us absolute truth, our mind cannot help us understand absolute truth. So actually this question is very intelligent. So then whatever you are telling, you are discussing, that also might be another form of illusion, another concept. Agreed, our machine is limited, faulty, everyone is having some concept of life. Your concept also might be another concept. How do I understand it is truth and not mere concept, not another interpretation of truth? So this question was asked by whom? Parishit Maharaj to Shukdev Goswami. That, my dear spiritual master, if my mind and senses are limited, they are made of material energy. They can anyway never understand absolute truth. So what is the point in discussing how shall we ever understand absolute truth using these mind and senses, because they are imperfect? Yes, we can only perceive matter. Our intelligence can only process material logics. Spiritual logics I cannot understand. Spiritual truth I cannot see, I cannot hear. So what is the use of discussing Bhagavatam or attempting even to understand Krishna? So what Shukdev Goswami told? So Shukdev Goswami told, yes, still you should try to hear about Krishna. Why? Still you should try to engage in devotional service. Why? You will not understand Krishna, but you will get purified first. That is why it is told, Nivritta Tarshair Upagiyamanat Bhava Shrotra Manobhirama. Chanting the holy name is very, very nectarian. It's full of pleasure. But who can enjoy this? Nivritta Tarshair. Those who do not have any material hankering in life. If we are attached to anything in this world, we can never relish Krishna consciousness, bhakti. Oh, but we have some attachment. Although we have given up some, but still we carry many attachments. So then, still should I chant holy name? It is told, yes. Why? Bhava. It is Aushadhi, it is medicine also. Sick man is not able to taste food. So the example given is jaundice patient. Jaundice patient, he finds sugar candy also bitter, but that sugar candy is remedy also. Even though it tastes bitter, you keep on tasting it. First, it will cure your disease, then it will show its actual taste, which is very, very sweet in nature. So, thus, even though we cannot understand spiritual subject matter, still I should try to hear this spiritual subject matter very, very nicely. So first we'll get purified, and then once we are purified, then we'll be able to understand it very clearly. But now the question can be, how do I even understand that this spiritual subject matter is truths? So for this, we have to understand authority. Phalena parichiyate. If you understand absolute truth, the result would be happiness. Very simple to understand. Yes, phalena parichiyate. The result is the proof. If you follow truth, you will be happy. If you are suffering, that means you are in ignorance. Very simple fact. You are suffering from a disease. Why we suffer from disease? Why people were going to hospitals when they got COVID? Yes, to get cured. Why in hospital they get cured? Why not at home? Yes, doctors have. Yes, doctors are having knowledge. So that is why if you have knowledge, you can solve the miseries of life. So thus, one who does not have miseries of life, one who is blissful, that means that person is situated in knowledge. Getting my point? So those who are absolutely blissful in every situation, that means they are having absolute truth, knowledge of absolute truth. So thus we can understand this knowledge is coming from people who are absolutely satisfied in every circumstances. That is why you should follow. You are asking same question. So many people I'll find in the name of doctors. I have not studied medical science. How do I know this person is a doctor? Correct? I should go to a nice doctor. But I can understand a nice doctor only by understanding medical science. Is that the logic? That is also a way. But simple way is, if he is able to cure patients, go to him. He's a perfect doctor. Correct? So by following this philosophy, if you are absolutely satisfied living under a tree, just see heat wave, so much heat wave was there. ACs are also bursting out and people are dying. So it has always been very hot in the north, especially. But even in the case of such extreme heat, extreme cold, Goswamis would live without clothes under trees. Completely satisfied always. Got something to eat, did not get something to eat, completely sad. And this has been the life of all the great devotees. So their knowledge we are following, correct? So that is why this is the proof. Getting my point? Give this doctor example always. You need not study MBBS to understand he's doctor or not. See from the result. Yes. Yes. So the question is that Krishna is not bound by rules and regulations. We tell Krishna is supreme personality, but then we see his time of coming is fixed. So that means he is bound by the rules, regulations. The answer is no. Krishna has decided, just like we decide, that uh, Monday I'll play football, Tuesday I'll watch movies, Wednesday I'll do swimming, Thursday I'll study physics, Friday I'll study maths. It is my free will. I have designed. So thus Krishna has planned. At this time I will visit this place, and that has been mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, not the other way around. That somebody has given me timetable like school student, I have to study this subject now. No. As per Krishna's desire is manifest in the scriptures. This is what is going to happen. And apart from this, when Krishna desires, he can definitely manifest. That is how the great devotees are able to see Krishna. But general people in Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is told is general people are seeing Krishna. That cannot happen in Kali Yuga. He is not manifest to all. But the devotees, they always see Krishna. Prabhupada was seeing Krishna, the Goswamis were seeing Krishna, everybody, all the pure devotees, they are seeing Shyam Sundar form. Krishna comes before them, and Prabhupada tells, if you are also very eager to see Krishna, you will see Krishna face to face in this life itself. The thief also saw Krishna when he became very eager to see Krishna. So thus, it is not written in the scriptures. So Krishna has got his own sweet free will. So personally, for the devotees, Krishna can become manifest anytime, in any yuga, any season, any part of the calendar. Hmm. Good question. So it is told that doubts are favorite weapon of Maya. So why doubts are called weapons? Because it is told pari prashnena, one should inquire. Inquire means one is having a doubt. Arjuna also was doubtful. Arjuna did not fall into Maya. And Parishit Maharaj also asked so many doubts. He did not fall into Maya. So why we are telling doubts are favorite weapon of Maya? So doubts are not a problem, but doubt should be regulated. What is the meaning of regulated? You try to understand from the scriptures, from the spiritual master, doubts about spiritual master, doubts about the uh, uh, Krishna himself. Those doubts are fatal. And if one tries to become too eager, does not wait for the doubts to be resolved by the spiritual master, that is very fatal. In this way, they can be fatal. Like, yes. So question is that Krishna does not incarnate in Kali Yuga. But we see Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna is incarnated in the form of holy name. So what we discuss that Krishna incarnates in every yoga. But Krishna does not incarnate as Shyam Sundar in his original form in Kali Yuga. He is incarnated in the form of his holy name. So that way incarnation is always present in every yoga. So we'll end. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.